Hey guys, Brandon here with Berserker Off-Road, and today I'm walking you through my 2020 Gladiator build. Yes, I did have a JL, and I traded in almost a year to the day for this Gladiator. 3 months into that thing, I was like, you know what? I should have had a Gladiator. So here it is. So it's a 2020 Gladiator Rubicon. I've got the build sticker here. The base price is $43,900. It doesn't have much optional equipment on it, which is how I wanted it. It has the trailer tow package, the 8-speed auto, 3-piece hardtop, remote keyless entry, 33-inch mud terrains, and most importantly, the all-weather slush mats. So total price on this thing was $49,700. That's not bad considering it's a Gladiator Rubicon. And you know what? I'm glad it doesn't have all those bells and whistles, because that way I can customize this thing to how I want it to be. Okay, Brock, I'm recording it. Okay, you guys can stand there and watch, but that's it. A few months ago, I took my Jeep wheeling stock, and it was a beast off-road at Kansas Rocks. Those 33-inch mud terrains, they just bit into the rocks and the dirt and the mud. I love those tires. So I knew that when I stepped up to a 35, that's... Hi, Aubrey. Hi, Aubrey. Okay. A few months ago, I took my Gladiator off-roading at Kansas Rocks, completely stock, on the 33-inch Falken Wildpeak MTs that it came with. And you know what? It was a beast off-road on those trails. The tires, they bit into the rocks. They were great in the dirt, in the mud. But you know what? I know me. I know I get in stupid situations off-road, and I just wanted that extra capability so that if I get on a trail and something comes up that's unexpected, I can get myself out of that tricky situation. So I knew I needed to step up to a 35. And I liked how well that Falken Wildpeak MT did at Kansas Rocks. And so I knew, you know what, that's the tire for me. So that's what I got in a 35. As for the wheels, I went with the AEV Pintler wheel. This wheel is designed specifically for the JL and the JT. The offset keeps the tires tucked in towards the body. A lot of wheels, they'll push the tires further out, and so they'll be sticking out from the fenders. But with this tire and wheel combination, I can run a 35 on the stock Rubicon suspension. You know, at full flex, of course, thanks to these high-rise fenders that the Rubicon comes with, I can fully stuff these 35s off-road without rubbing. Had I gone with a different wheel that would stick the tires further out, at full flex, the tires would be hitting these fenders. So with this combination, I do not have to change the suspension. And that's important to me because right now I'm not planning to change the suspension. It handles great. I love how it feels. In fact, of all the Jeeps I've had, this thing feels the best of any Jeep I've had off-road or on-road. It's the most comfortable. It's a little soft, but I love how it handles, and so I don't want to change that unless I absolutely have to. So here's the front end. It's pretty Spartan. It's got the plastic bumper and halogen headlights, but you know what? That's okay because that means I can customize this and make it how I want it to be. The halogens, I think they're fine around the city. People still flash their brights at me thinking they're too bright, but hey, that's just a part of the Jeep life. I do plan on running a winch on this thing. I'm just undecided on which bumper I want to get. On this build, I am keeping the weight down, so because of that, I'm actually considering an aluminum bumper. But you know, if I need to, I'll make up the weight savings somewhere else, and if I need to, I will run a steel bumper. I'm just undecided on exactly which one I want to get. Here is the bed of the Gladiator, and just like at home, this is where the magic happens. I am so excited that I have this Gladiator because just the versatility. You know, one weekend I can throw in my mountain bikes and go hit the trail. The next weekend I can throw in my camping gear and go hit the trail. Then the next weekend I can go to Home Depot and load up a bunch of rocks and gardening stuff and come home and wish I was at the trail. But anyway, you know, it's the versatility. That's what I love about this thing, is I can just customize it and change it so much depending on what I need it to do. Now, I did add a tonneau cover to the Gladiator. I did not want a cheapo tonneau cover like some of these guys get from Amazon. They're like 130 bucks and they, you know, hang out the corner of the truck and they just look bad and they have this cheap fake leather, vinyl, whatever. I wanted something that was high quality, but still not $1,000, which is almost what the soft tonneau cover from Mopar costs. This is the Bestop EZ-Roll, and I just love how it looks and functions. It unrolls easy, it mounts easy to the bed rail system, but overall it's a great buy, and it's less than $400. So I installed an aftermarket cargo management system into the bed of this truck. This is not the Mopar trail rail system. This is from Builtright Industries. It's basically unistrut or super strut, and it bolts to the existing holes in the bed that the Mopar trail rail system would mount to. Now this I like, it's less expensive than the Mopar system, and whenever I need extra brackets to mount stuff like racks or the tonneau cover to, I just go to the hardware store. I don't need proprietary pieces to make it work, and I love that. It's simple and it's inexpensive. I had the bed lined by the dealership. It's a hard and durable coating that will last the life of the Jeep. I have a set of rigid dual spot and floodlights on the A-pillars that use a low-profile windshield mount. I also had the dealership install factory auxiliary switches so I can control my lights. It's a clean look and does not clutter the dash. The one thing I don't like about this Gladiator is, for me, it's hard to see out of. I'm 6'3", 230 pounds. When I'm sitting here driving like in normal city driving, I can't see stoplights and I can only see cars if they're right in front of me. To get a better view, I've got to crank my neck so I can see properly. And that's super frustrating. You know, and that's with the seat all the way down. You'll see it's down. I can lift it all the way up. But so no, yes, I drive with the seat all the way down just to prove it to you. And the other thing is when I'm sitting here, the top of my head is hitting the bottom of the hardtop and my head is resting against the roll bar. So I just wish that there was just a little more room in here for a guy my size. Otherwise, it's really comfy. I love these seats. I wish it was easier to see out of this thing. The one thing I splurged with on this Gladiator, besides the Gladiator itself, is leather seats. So this came with cloth seats, and there was nothing wrong with them. They were comfy, they looked real smart, but one thing I learned from my first 2 Jeeps, which had cloth seats, is after long trail days, after a couple of years, and just the dirt and the grime and sweating in them, they hold on to a funk that you just can't get out of them no matter how hard you clean them. No amount of Scotch Guard gets trail funk out of those seats. So that's why I went with this nice leather so I don't have that problem, because I don't want it to smell in here, because I do plan on spending a lot of time in this Gladiator. Now, this is not the standard leather you get from the factory. This is called Katzkin. You get this through the dealership. This is actually a higher grade of leather than what you get from the factory. I had leather seats on my JL from the factory, and I can tell you this is a lot more supple. It has more give to it. It's comfier. The leather, it's not as tight, so it's just overall softer and it's more durable. The leather from the factory, while very nice, this stuff, it's again more durable. So as I'm dragging like camera cases on it or gear, it's just more scratch resistant than the other leather. And you have a lot of options when you have the leather done. You could have this, tan and yellow or whatever, but I had it reupholstered to match the factory design so it looks factory and clean. And I am very pleased with how this Katzkin leather turned out. I've had 4 hard-mounted radios die on me over the years. And, so I've learned just carry a handheld. I've yet to be in a place where a simple radio like this isn't enough. And if I'm in a dire situation and I really need to communicate, I've got a satellite radio. And you know what? Both of these, they're portable. I don't need the vehicle for these to work. These can leave with me. As far as navigation, I'm not going to be running big screens and all this stuff to just mess with and distract me from while I'm driving. I've learned to rely on paper maps for navigation, and I use an app on my phone as a backup. And yeah, I've been lost a few times, but that's part of the fun. And so for me and my dash, I plan on running as few devices as possible, keep it clean, and keep it simple. So that's my 2020 Gladiator build so far. I know it's not extreme, it's not on 37s and a big lift, but I've learned from past experiences to only change things as I need to. I've practically ruined 2 Jeeps from overbuilding them or building them wrong for the type of wheeling that I've been doing. So with this, I'm changing things as I go, as I need to, and so far that's working out well for me. I still have some things I need to tweak on it. Like I know I'm getting a winch, so that's the winch and the winch bumper. I do want to get a snorkel for the pre-filter, not for water fording, just to keep the air clean as it goes into the engine. I need to figure out my fridge. I've got an ARB fridge and it doesn't fit in the bed with the tonneau cover. It's too tall and the bed is too shallow. So that's something I need to figure out. But overall, I am just ecstatic with how this build is coming along. This Gladiator is by far the favorite Jeep of mine that I've ever had over the years. And I invite you to subscribe if you haven't already, to tag along and watch my adventures, and just to give me some ideas or whatever along the way of things that you like to see me do or places you want to see me go. Thanks for watching. See you on the trail.